I just wanted to talk about how disclosing neurodivergence can change your life and the good things about it, but also some of the challenges. I'm going to do a video about why I love being neurodivergent, and then another video specifically about the challenges, which hopefully will come soon. But today I want to just talk about when you start openly telling people that you're autistic and ADHD, or have both, or one or the other, or another form of neurodivergence. And I do not mean that when I meet someone new, I say, hello, my name's Edward, I have autism and ADHD. I don't do that. But when I mean disclosing, I mean if it happens to come up in conversation, I'm not ashamed or hesitant for it to come up in conversation. The reason why I believe this is so important is that if you are not willing to talk about it, then you are not fully embracing and loving yourself, in my opinion. There are other schools of thought, but for me, self-love is about unapologetically having the brain that I have and being compassionate to that brain. And we like to have a bias in society that anything different is worse, or if you break the status quo, you're doing a bad thing. When in reality, a lot of the things that we do today are normal, but they were breaking the status quo of thousands of years ago. So I think that acceptance and willing to talk about it is a form of self-compassion. Also, the energy that you expend in trying to hide traits or apologize for thinking in a different way can be really exhausting and really painful. And I think it would ramp up your cortisol. And that's why I choose to be unapologetic when I divulge my neurodivergence. I basically feel it's saying, some people think this way, some people think that way, I think this way. Let's work together to do amazing things and have empathy for each other. I wanted to say that also, by being openly neurodivergent, for me, I feel it gives me the best chance to reach my potential in my own way, because otherwise I am following the script that others wrote but not my own, or not writing my own script. So that is another reason. So I do it because I want to increase, I divulge it because I want to increase acceptance of neurodiversity across the whole of humanity. But I also do it for peace in myself. And I don't tell people it so that they can think that their thinking is better than mine, or that they can make assumptions about who I am. And this will segue to the next point, but that will naturally happen. When I talk about it and divulge that I have autism and ADHD, a lot of words or ideas may automatically come to the mind of someone else, because this is what we do, this is what our brains do. We're pattern, we love to try to see patterns in things, but we also love to extrapolate what we see into the media and then make assumptions, and we all do that. I do that as well. But what I'm trying to say is, there's an expression, if you've met a autistic person, you've just met one autistic person. Just like if you've met a neurotypical person, you've just met one neurotypical person, or ADHD, or any other form of neurodivergence. But I am not divulging it to encourage people to project those labels onto me, even though it may happen. I'm not saying it will always happen, but it may happen in certain situations. I'm doing it so I can feel at peace in myself and be unapologetically me. And I think that creates a more welcome world. And since I started divulging it, I've actually had some amazing conversations with other people about their stories, whether it be of their relatives or friends or their own stories. And I find that incredibly amazing to learn those stories, which I never would have learned if I hadn't chosen to share this story. Now, I wanted to just talk about one of the biggest challenges of divulging it. And that is that because there is the risk that people will put a label on you in terms of thinking that you are like this, or you can't do this because you have this condition, which is often not true, or you don't have empathy, which is also not true, and we've done a video on that, which you can see here. Because of that, sometimes it raises the bar of what other people want to see in me to prove that I can achieve something or do something. And that isn't fair, because that bar wouldn't be set for other people. So it can raise the bar of what's expected of you when you divulge that you're neurodivergent, because people might assume that you can't do certain things. So if you try to do something, people will say, yeah, but you didn't really do it, or something like that, or you had to find another way. And even though the other way you found or the way you did it was equally valid, or might have been an innovative way to do it. And I find it similar to AI models, in the sense that AI models are getting more smart and smart and smart, but we keep changing the goalposts and saying, that's not intelligence, that's not. And what I'm saying is, I think when you say that you're neurodivergent, it can sometimes feel like you have a weight to carry. And I appreciate that, and I'm sorry that that can feel real sometimes, because there is an element of truth to it. And I'd say that it's something that's a challenge, but I'd say that the more people that are openly neurodivergent, the more we can challenge those stereotypes, the more we can show that neurodivergent people are contributing to society in many different ways, in healthcare, education, sport, art, technology, politics, everything. And they have throughout history. So the more we talk about it, the more of an accepting world we can create. But that is unfortunately one of the burdens that is carried along the way, because there is implicit bias, because our brains automatically associate labels with certain traits or certain ideas. So, but I wanted to say that for me, divulging it has overwhelmingly been amazing, and my life has improved enormously. And I don't want to say that my experience maps onto everyone else's experience, because that's not true. And there have been a lot of challenges for people and pain when they have had when they've revealed that they were neurodivergent. So thank you for listening. I'm going to be making videos about languages, neurodivergence, neuroscience, psychology, and different things. So Blaif Dorzetta, and thank you.